So do you ever use those little boxes that pop up on a website that say, hey, how can I help you? And it's just a little chat box that you can use instead of digging through the website. So that is AI, and those are things called chat bots. Now, I'm Todd Clough, and this is my series as I'm learning about AI, education, and everything. And early on, as I was learning about using ChatGPT, I also was exposed to, as I mentioned in the first video, about Sal Khan and how he was using that idea of the OpenAI's ChatGPT to help students have an individual tutor. And it was given explicit instructions that were not to give them answers, but it was to help bring them to the understanding. So in other words, a true tutor, like an adult was sitting there next to them. Well, that started the wheels turning in my head because my husband works in finance. And when he would come home and talk about the number, we have 80 some schools in our district, and each one of those has a bookkeeper who handles the finance as well as other roles. But there was a lot of new turnover and a lot of new hires, and those new hires needed support. Some of them, they just wanted to hold their hand, right? And others, like, they truly were stuck and they just didn't know where to move forward. So I started picturing, and if we could upload the procedure manuals, the school board policies, the quick start guides, and tell this chatbot, use these resources to help these people with their struggles. So that when a new bookkeeper has a teacher come into her or his office and say, I have a field trip coming up, what do I need to do? And they can go into this ChatGPT and say, I have a teacher who wants to go on a field trip. Where do I begin? And lo and behold, you have that assistant who is helping them through rather than having to call and have a human walk them through those very same steps. So the wheels started turning about these chatbots and the potential. I remember in New Jersey when I was working in November when I was learning this, and I remember talking with the superintendent saying, imagine if you could program this or ask it to what lesson I'm going to come in and see during an observation, but it would provoke that teacher to think through all the things that would help us have a meaningful conversation when they come to my office and we discuss it prior to me going in and seeing it. Some of these ways of applying these chatbots are really exciting. And so I would like for you to think about that. Is where is it that we're relying on humans to have to handhold, and in reality, having a very patient, kind, complimentary, supportive assistant would really help some of our employees not require so much human impact. And in education, most of our budget is for the humans. So imagine if we can free those humans up to do other tasks that would bring more value to our organization than simply answering questions on the phone. All right, again, I'm Todd Clough, and I'm gonna start with going into the very first video I watched. So stay tuned and follow, and I'll share that journey next.